My highlight of the season is Lee Sharp wearing a tie. What's been your highlight of the season in the Premier League?
Oh, wow. Apart from, obviously, Liverpool winning the Premier League, I think the Guard of Honour...
Given by?
Arsenal.
To?
Liverpool.
Why is that? Why do you choose that? Because they weren't the only team to give a Guard of Honour.
No, they weren't, but there was a lot of talk back in the UK of whether or not they should be doing multiple Guards of Honour. But I think when you look at Arsenal's position over the last few years, been the nearly men, if you like, and then Liverpool have come out and under Arne Slot and totally romped it. And I just thought that was a fitting moment to see. Not that I've got anything against Arsenal, of course, but it was just nice to see Arsenal having to give a Guard of Honour to a team that they wouldn't have fancied winning the league at the beginning of the season. So here it is. Look at it, magnificent.
Where do you stand on Guard of Honours? Because this is a topic we discussed on the show, whether it should be happening or shouldn't.
Yeah, it should do, because you are literally honouring the team that have beaten you. And the more Guard of Honours you do in a season, the better that victory is. And you know, I think we've been blessed in recent years where it's been right down to the wire, quite literally. But Liverpool, as I say, have romped it. I mean, you've been there. Sharp has been there. So,
I'm not sure quite as early as they've done it, though. I don't think we've ever won the league quite as early.
I think one Guard of Honour is good enough, isn't it?
Well, I'll take one.
What about yourself, Sharpie? Your best moment of the season, the highlight of the season for you?
Difficult to pick out, but probably a little bit away from the Premier League, and that would be the Newcastle and Crystal Palace Cup wins. I think just because it's been so long that they won.
Well, it's the first ever for Crystal Palace. 164 years old, Crystal Palace, and here in 2025, that's when they lift their first trophy.
Yeah, and I just think it goes to show how important to these clubs that the cup competitions are. And I know you've asked me about the Premier League, but it's a little bit away from it. But I think to see Newcastle and Crystal Palace lift cups this season, I think it's been amazing for the fans, for the team, for the clubs. And it's nice to see trophies go to people sort of outside the big 5 or 6, if you like.
I think if I can just add to that, Palace towards the end of the season definitely have been having a very strong Premier League running, and Newcastle, having won the trophy, are still pushing for Champions League, and I think that's the credit to where victory in other competitions actually kept their Premier League hopes alive, if you like, because it would be quite easy for Newcastle to say 70 years we've done it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Take your eye off the ball and celebrate till the end of the season, but they haven't. And they just saw at the beginning there, you know, they're in for a shout of winning in Champions League position as well. So, yeah.
And you would know all about the magic of the cup, wouldn't you, yourself?
Yeah, there was a bit there.
And how special it is.
Yeah, and how goalkeeper should have been sent off, but that's another conversation.
No, we'll say that for another day. Gary Stevens, your highlight, your moment of the season.
Well, I think there's bundles that I could bring up, and our viewers as well. You know, must have all sorts of different ideas. But in the early part of the season, with you know, Cole Palmer playing so well, the fact that he scored 4 goals in the first half of a Premier League game, which is a first, and it might remain an always as well. You know, just his calmness, his coolness. You know, okay, people say you should score from a penalty, but a lot of players don't. Yeah, so it stood out to me. The quality, what about that for a free kick? And the range of the goals as well. The only disappointment for me was it was against one of my old sides, Brighton. But, you know, as an individual, what a great player.
So your highlight was a standout performance, you feel,
of an individual.
Of individuals,
yeah.
That was it for you?
Yes.
Any other standout individual performances for the other 2 gents here, Cole Palmer aside, that comes to mind? I know I'm springing this on you right now, but...
I think we've been blessed. I mean, Liverpool, because of their dominance, there were performances from pretty much any player at any given time, which I think we just marvelled at and thought, hang on, especially at the beginning of the season.
As a goalkeeper, Matt Sells, what about him this season?
Generally, he's been fantastic, yeah, absolutely. And again, you know, we're top of the show there, Nottingham Forest with a chance of qualifying for the Champions League on the back of him. I mean, that's an interesting dynamic, isn't it? You've got David Raya and Sells on 13 clean sheets
for
the Golden Glove.
Yeah.
I mean, David Raya, you expect to be in that shout, but Sells has done fantastically well. Yeah.
Sharpie, very quickly, any standout performances for you in one game? I'm not talking player of the season, just in the one game that made you say, wow.
Oh, in one game? No, it's hard to pick out of the whole season, one game. No, I would probably go over a season and just say how well Salah's done again.